Thelma had been dating her 42-year-old boyfriend Donald for a little bit over 2 months, which is more than the time I dated Peekaboo. More on her later. She broke my heart, man. In the beginning of the episode, Thelma plays some classical music as she cooks for the family, something that normal teenagers of color who lived in low-income housing did in the 70s.
It's a classic, Tchaikovsky's Swan Lake.
Oh, please. James Brown is probably rolling in his grave. According to the Cambridge Dictionary, performative means not sincere but intended to impress, proving that something is true. To put it in plain, polite English, it's what Timmy tries to do so Cindy can let him slide in her nether region. We see it all over social media too. Men being toxic feminists to get DMs.
Want to break his ego? Break up with him on his birthday. So his special day is about you.
And that girl cosplaying as a trad conservative wife while holding down a body count which is still climbing. You go, Carol! All this to be seen as different from the rest and more appealing to the opposite gender. For what, you may ask? Well, a little thing called validation, something that I'm very familiar with. You see, I met this girl off of Omi TV in 2022, and let's just say she was drop dead gorgeous. Her eyes, you see, her eyes.
Lord have mercy, I'm about to bust.
And let's just say your boy decided to put on a show so she could like me. She had a brother saying all kinds of things of how much of a feminist I was because she likes soft and sensitive men. And you know, I really think that I'm a soft and sensitive man, and you know, I really think that I'm trying to get in touch with my feminine side, and you know, I feel like I'm really misunderstood by the people around me. So if I could just cop a feel of your... Long story short, she realized how desperate and insecure I was, and she proceeded to love bomb me for 7 days that Oppenheimer would be proud. The week after, she pulled a Casper, and when I confronted her, she said, "It's not you, it's me. I gotta figure out what I need." And I never heard from her ever since. I cried. Very loudly. And if you're watching this, I would like you to know you melanin deficient calcified pioneer. Why is being performative a dangerous way to live? First, your relationships won't last, G. Also, more on that later. Secondly, you lose yourself. Look at Thelma. She became something she wasn't so she could fit the mold of a 42-year-old man. She tried to get a crash course on maturity without the challenges and mistakes it takes to get there, to where she was convinced that she was above her older brother like we saw earlier. Which ties in beautifully with the fact that the persona Thelma and the rest of us build becomes an invisible prison whose bars are forged by resentment. The better you play the character, the more your partner and the people around you fall in love with that character, not you, forcing you to stay on that stage forever. Not to mention when you run out of energy, instead of blaming your own ego, you blame your partner, which turns to hate from demands your partner never actually made, simply because you volunteered to hide your true self.
Now to the relationship discussion as promised.
When it comes to relationships, these people will fail. But there's more to the dookie than just the smell. So let's sniff it out. The reason we find ourselves in these cycles of toxic relationship is the same reason why Thelma was okay dating a man who was old enough to be her father. We ignore the red flags of who we're attracting because we're hyper fixated on how good for them we can be, but not are they good for us. So if they treat you poorly, lie, or manipulate you, you accept mistreatment because you value their validation more than your own self-respect. Which begs the question, what is love? And why couldn't Thelma answer this one simple question? No?
Thelma, do you love him?
Oh, Ma, you keep asking me that.
What is love? Well, to keep it simple, love is a choice, meaning you choose to be with someone and truly accept them for who they are in perpetuity.
For a lengthier discussion, check out the video of the Chronicles of Stupid Tom, link in the description.
However, love must be rooted in both vulnerability and patience, where two people come as they are and take the time to see if they're compatible, which could be months or even years if they're considering marriage. Thelma and most of us go off of lust, physical attraction, and being chosen, and that feeling you get when something is new. So Thelma couldn't answer that question because she loved the validating fact that a 42-year-old millionaire with options chose a 17-year-old girl from the ghetto. The reason most people get like this is the core beliefs and wounds they carry from their childhood. The abandonment wound, which makes them hyper-vigilant because they think the people they love will eventually leave them, because the core belief that comes with this wound is that they're not good enough and that someone couldn't love them just for existing. So affection must actively be earned at all costs. Maybe they were never appreciated as a child unless they achieved something, reducing them to letters on a report card or the medals they won. So they look for the validation outside the home, and boy will they perform for it. When they meet someone who rejects them, because let's face it, not everyone is going to accept and like you for who you are, and it's okay. TikTok has been rejecting me for 7 years! Something I wish I learned early on about rejection, because I used to be super reactive. Reactivity is an attempt to get external validation to patch an internal wound. To stop reacting, you must recognize that the rejection did not create your unworthiness. It simply exposed an unhealed part of you that needs your own care, not someone else's approval. Performative people, on the other hand, like me, won't be able to handle the pain of being rejected, hence deciding never to show their true selves again because they think there's something wrong with them. Listen, if this is you, there is no quick fix or magic formula I know to undo the mess called your life.
Why would you say that?
The reason I say this is because being performative is how I've lived majority of my life up until a few months ago. And I still catch myself being performative from time to time. However, how I got help was through therapy and also watching my internal dialogue, how I talk to myself. And whenever I'm mean to myself, I catch myself and I remind myself, we don't talk to him like that. You take that back. And I'm a little bit kinder to myself. And I also compliment myself, I congratulate myself, and that kinda helps me not rely solely on external validation as much as I used to. And every day when I wake up in the morning, I also remind myself that I am enough. Because God created me as I am, and His love for me is not a transaction, and I don't have to earn it. He gave me His only Son to save me from damnation. John 3:16. So I won't let anyone tell me or make me feel that I'm not enough. So keep your head up. Look within for the problem, and once you get some help and start to care about yourself, you'll be alright. If a goofball like me figured it out on his own, I bet you can do it too. So Godspeed. And if you suffer from the fear of failure like I do, which paralyzes you whenever you try to do something great with your life, well, I suggest you watch this video here. Till next time, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and always remember that you're enough. Peace out, guys. Yeah.